Welcome to Robothouse. We're going to do a initial impression video for Mighty Number 9, which came out yesterday, I believe, as of this recording. Probably Tuesday, as the time by the time this goes up.
Tuesday, June 21st.
And Mark has the dubious honor of being the only one of us that paid for it in advance. So,
Well, hey there, everybody. I belong to that wall of shame. It's being called now at the end of the game. That takes about maybe 2 hours to get through. And I don't know if my name's up there yet. Hopefully it kind of is, but maybe with how the reception's been so far, maybe it isn't.
yes.
We'll see about that. Um, so yeah, 3 years ago, I think all of us were pretty hype about buying number 9. And then they got all that money, and then all the stuff just kept happening, like the
Yeah.
leader, and then like the gameplay being changed where you don't do transformations anymore. Inafune wanting more money, pain. Of course, the release was also a mess too. Your PlayStation codes were invalid. People weren't getting appropriate codes for their region or for what they wanted. They were getting Steam codes, not console codes. Just this, that, and the other just didn't seem to be working yet. And then you have maybe the Retro Hero DLC and the Ray DLC maybe not working right now. So, yeah, I think it's kind of like the cherry on top, isn't it? It just can't be a simple release. Oh, and people that kickstarted it too. You had a choice for one of your backer posters at like maybe $200. You go to Walmart now and get the launch edition. You can get both posters for like $25.
Oh, that's just stupid on their part.
That might be Deep Silver's doing. We'll see. We've yet to get any word on the rest of the physical rewards, but I don't think that part's what people want to listen about. They want to listen about the game.
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't download it yesterday because I heard, thanks to the beautiful power of social media, that there were, of course, issues with the Wii U version,
Shocking.
such as freezing, crashing, and potential bricking. It only took until maybe last night that bricking was deconfirmed by NW Player. Turns out it just makes you do a hard reset. So people know the difference between resetting and bricking.
Yeah.
So with bricking deconfirmed and Deep Silver confirming that there were patches to be done, I know there's at least one. There might be another one on the way. I went ahead and downloaded the game initial around about noonish today. I've been at the game for just about 3 hours now. So, how to go about this game? Because after all, some people might say, you backed this game, you're going to be biased as hell. But maybe I'm vindictive, maybe.
Doesn't seem to be the case. From the Steam reviews I'm seeing right now.
Well, let me just say that there could have been a really, really good game in here. There are moments that flash through where you do have some fun playing it. The combo system is alright, and when you start playing the game well, you feel pretty good at it. Some of this level design is pretty rough. I've almost compared it to maybe not as bad, but almost echoing X6.
Ooh.
Yes. The knockback is real in this game, and there was an element in the battalion stage where you're going on these conveyor belts, and they have these enemies that pop up from the sides. It's intentionally made so you have to wait till he pops like back in and not far out. Because if he hits you by contact damage, or if he hits you with his blaster shot, the knockback, of course, knocks you into instant death spikes.
That's I hate stuff like that.
Yes, there are instant death spikes in walls in quite a few spots so far. I wouldn't say perfect or like perfectionist yet, but I've seen Miiverse posts of maybe the Wily Castle, Blackwell, whatever, area, where you have to make like triple dashes that are pretty tight. There have been some examples of leaps of faith or falling downs of faith. The mine stage, for example, that has had Mick. There's one where you're hanging on a ledge, and if you drop down, you'll fall into spikes. You have to go off to the left. So you can't see that pit. And
That,
yeah,
there's no excuse for that kind of thing in this day and age.
and just in case it wasn't tough enough, at the same time, Professor White and Call, they're talking to you in this stage a little bit. They don't talk too much to you during stages, some more than others.
Mm.
But here in the mind stage, they're trying to keep tabs with you because you're going around.
Yeah.
So the dialogue box, so if you even had dropped, you could not maybe save yourself if you dashed in time because you may not have seen the pit because the dialogue box covers the spike pit.
Wow, that.
But wait, there's more with the dialogue box. Hang on. The pyro boss. This one, folks remember, I think, from the beta.
Yeah, the wrestler guy.
Yes. Well, when you've gotten him damaged a significant amount, he'll start glowing bluer, like blue flames, and he'll wind up to do some really powerful attacks. Now, Pyro's fight, he does follow a pattern thanks to what you had thought of the time as simply audio cues. So when he says dash, he'll dash. When he says crash, he'll try to jump at you. And you can bait him appropriately.
Yeah.
But when he's glowing blue, Professor White's talking to you again, and you can't hear him anymore. So you have to rely on visual cues now. His actual stances give him away. But you're not going to notice that the first time.
Yeah.
You're not. Unless you've perfected it from the demo. First timers to this game, it's just going to be really hard.
But that's just... Why are there dialogue boxes?
They got to have dialogue because those voice actors. But boxes, I don't even know.
I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but the only game that had dialogue boxes that I recall was Legends, and those didn't take up a third of your screen.
Battle Network and that, they had dialogue boxes too, but not while you
Well, that's an RPG, though.
And you weren't playing the game at the time.
Yeah.
And Alia, she at least had the decency to halt your game so you could talk.
Yeah.
To get some of the other, I guess, negative points out of the way, I mean, for the Wii U version, the frame rate is pretty rough. Downright horrible in some instances.
This is Unreal 3, by the way, so there's no excuse for this. It's almost 15 years old at this point.
In Pyro's stage, right as you get near the end before him, segment where there are these cannonball launchers. They're sending fireballs down. They're destroying these huge oil refinery stacks. Come crashing down. You get smacked by one of those stacks, you die instantly, and yet they don't cause destruction of the initial ground you're standing on. They'll kill other enemies, but not you. The ground rather. They'll kill you.
Yeah.
But right then, at the frame rate, you gotta be shooting ahead to hope that you destroyed some fireballs, because otherwise some fireballs might just suddenly pop in and you're getting knocked back, and you gotta keep hitting that dash button and pray you still made it.
It's ridiculous.
That's a rough instance. But it's not the bad. Not the worst one, rather. The worst one is in the mine stage, again. When you're at this segment where, of course, you have to dodge a giant drill.
Yeah.
Takes up the whole screen, it contacts you, you're auto-dead. That segment alone is a lot of trial and error, where you don't get a lot of time to react and figure certain things out. For example, you have to realize you have to kill this one enemy, absorb his power so you can shoot through stuff, because you have to destroy these explosive crates. Otherwise, you can't drop down. It's like it has you weave like in a U shape. Yeah, then there's these moving platforms where you have to hang one because there's instant death spikes above you, so the idea is you're on the platform hanging on while it's skirting it, and you drop down. But that initial part, when that loads up, when you're starting to escape from the drill, it's terrible. I don't know if it's any better in the other console versions.
I can only imagine.
Really, really rough there. I've automatically jacked up the number of lives I've had in this game to 9. I've had no game overs yet, but I did get down to 1 life left against the boss Cryo.
So this is more Mega Man 1 than Mega Man 2.
I should say so. I mean, the levels are harder than the bosses.
Yeah.
Cryo, though, is the only, I think, exception to this so far. She is the hardest boss that I've encountered. I've only gotten Steve Bloom, Mighty Number Steve Bloom, Mighty Number Planes Do Not Steal, and Mighty Number Die on Highway to go. But Cryo, I heard, has the best weapon in the game, and that's rightfully so. The freeze shot is fantastic. Hits enemies, and if it doesn't, like, automatically freeze them up so you can absorb their power instantly, it slows them down so they can't attack you as fast.
Oh, that's neat.
And thanks to this ammo system you have with the cells, you're pretty much getting all your ammunition back.
Oh.
That's fantastic. So I'd say go for Cryo first, even though it's one of the harder boss fights. The stage itself is okay. Yeah, defeat her, and you can get the best weapon in the game. It's like Metal Blade tier, I think, in terms of weaponry. There's only a handful of music tracks so far in the game that I can remember, and that's the boss fight theme, because you hear it a lot.
Yeah.
When you're dying all the time. Though, to be fair, while Cryo's the hardest, I beat Dinah in one try. I beat Battalion in one try. I think, yeah, not Gutsman, Seismic. I beat him in the second try. He lowers he does an instant kill move.
Oh.
That's lowering down another set of platforms in the area, like columns. The idea is he's trying to make the arena shrink, but you can hang on to edges that are indented in these walls.
Oh.
I was over too far enough when it happened. When it happened, that got me. But boss themes, maybe the main title theme, selecting a stage themes just don't come out at you at all. Like, they're playing, they're there, but you're just focused on what's going on in the game, trying not to die and just keep up with what the game's throwing at you.
So the sound mix is kind of poor.
Yeah, I'm sure if I could listen to the tracks independently, then maybe I'll find one or two that are a gem, but as it stands right now, there are no moments where I just want to stop and listen to the music in some of these stages.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's just so hard. I mean, as I said, I can't help but feel that there is a pretty good game in here somewhere.
Yeah.
But the execution has been so off.
Well, I'll be honest, I was worried about this game since I played Gunvolt. And that was their attempt at a Mega Man Zero type game, and I'm like, do you guys understand that Zero was fast? And this, I don't know, they have this thing where you can't just shoot enemies anymore. You have to do something after you shoot them, and I don't know if that's going to be their thing going forward or what, but they should probably get rid of it.
You can kill enemies by continuously shooting them.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to. In fact, you could say you're penalized for doing that.
If you give a toot about getting your cells back and getting points.
But don't they give you physical bonuses for the level, though?
Some, but they're timed. You only hold on to them so long.
Yeah, but the idea is that you keep going and dashing and getting more bonuses.
Yeah, but there's some enemies you just want to kill dead. Because they're just in the way.
I mean, for me, I would prefer dashing as like an option, and you'd still get like drops and stuff by killing enemies in a normal way. But like, I hate that in Gunvolt too. You shoot an enemy 6 times and you stand there, basically.
For the most part, because you got to make sure they're still on screen when you're trying to zap them. Yeah. The voice acting, it's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna ding them too hard, I guess. What you're more focused on when there's voice acting, especially in the cutscenes of what you're getting in the story, you're focusing on how the models, the mouths aren't moving, and how they look like shiny toys.
Well, you can't expect things like mouth movement. There wasn't a third Kickstarter, Mark.
Apparently.
Again, Unreal 3, it's not technologically capable of doing the things they needed to do.
I just feel like if it weren't for my wanting to do initial impressions, I probably could have downed this in like another couple hours. I probably will, because I want to do a final impressions when the game's all said and done, but I can't help but feel I've seen a good chunk of what this game has to offer.
Yeah. And I guess you should probably play the Ray mode too.
Yeah, that because it's a different like play style. It's Ray's supposed to be our zero,
Hmm.
so that might feel a little more up to snuff to what I'd like. And I haven't played as Call yet. I don't know how you play as her yet.
Isn't she only in co-op?
I think she gets her own stage though.
Hmm.
So I'll have to double check on all of it.
Maybe after you beat the game.
Makes sense. Um, I mean, yeah, there's a good game in here somewhere, but it's one of those things where I bet Inti creates like, what's everybody having problems with? Look at us not taking any damage. Because yeah, you made the game. You know how to fight your own bosses.
I feel bad because it's not Inti Create's fault, it's Concept. Inti Create is a core team of like old Capcom vets and just the shit they've probably had to deal with.
Yeah, I would love to hear once probably non-disclosures are done from some of the people that helped make this game to see what happened over the course of these 3 years.
I'm kind of curious as to who owns Beck. Because if it's still Inafune, I mean, that second game isn't going to do very well. But I think if Concept is not involved in the next game, we'll see something good from Inti Creates.
Yeah, as it stands right now, thanks to all the backer reactions and people who are playing the game, it's just this game is not $4 million.
No,
it isn't. Yeah.
It's a pity.
Pity, yeah, and Inafune would be wise not to ask people for money again.
No, I think he's pretty much done.
And then you got that whole Ben Judd thing versus, it's better than nothing. Inafune evidently didn't say that. Judd added that in, so. Ben, I love you as Phoenix right
I mean, Sonic Twitter was inaccurate.
No, Sonic's burn was fantastic.
No.
Sonic, even though episode 4, 1, and 2 were terrible, and Sonic Boom's been terrible, stay meme-tastic, you crazy hedgehog. I think with Mighty Number 9 here, if you want to have a great time, I'd suggest watching a playthrough first, maybe, just to get yourself prepared for what you're going to get in your level design. It's kind of like what I'd say for folks that want to do X6.
Yeah.
It's like first time out.
In fact, I'm going to stop you right there. Don't tell people to play X6 or X7. Just, Mark, that's cruel.
If you have to play X6.
No, you don't have to.
For the children, Jason.
That's why you want to have children someday and not kill yourself by playing Mega Man X6.
Well, an example of this is there's just some stuff that you can't see coming, like those kids.
See, that stuff's inexcusable to me. That's poor level design, and Gunvolt had it too.
So, as it stands, initial impressions, probably for the Mighty Number 9th time I've said it, good game can be in here, but the execution has been rough, and if Inafune wants a sequel to this, which he's kind of said he'd like to see more of, I mean, you got to revamp your approach and everything. You better just be a consultant and stuff, because people don't want to hear your name right now.
I don't know if he worked on this game at all. From what I understand, this is another Yuji Naka situation where he says he was really more involved than he was. I think it's beginning to show.
The game just seems peppered with all these level design things where it's like, well, how'd you not know that was there? Like, why did you do that the first time?
Even Sonic of all games gives you that little skull and crossbones.
And there's been instances of the game where you don't know if something falling on you will kill you or not, or crushing damage will kill you.
Well, that's like that in Mega Man too. Sometimes it doesn't.
Right. It's tough. I wouldn't say this is an exactly awful game right now, because there have been levels where I've breezed through them completely, like the Electric Girl. I knew how to do that dash segment thanks to Game Explain stream, so
yeah.
So I beat that in one try. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna beat Steve Bloom stage trying. I'm not.
Steve Bloom is the one who has a little ammo case for a dog, right?
He's the sniper guy.
Yeah. Well, I think let's wrap it up because I think
I think.
we should save some for the actual review. So I think it's safe to say maybe wait a little bit if you wanted to get Mighty Number Nine, unless you're a backer. Then we're sorry.
Yeah, you can always gift it on eBay or whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess the final point though is don't let Mighty Number Nine discourage you from Kickstarter yet. I mean, it's been dying down.
Oh yeah.
Shovel Knight is the golden boy right now.
I think Bloodstained has promise. Ukulele as well.
Yes, and Shantae is going to look great too. It can just be one of those things where there's a lot of stuff that happened to this game that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
And for all the good, there are bad, and for all the bad, there are good. So just look into a game's pedigree, and granted, this game looked like it had a great pedigree, but
Yes.
caveat emptor, I suppose.
Well, all we need them to do is get a level designer, and then we'll be fine. Maybe the people who worked on Mega Man 9. Not 10. You get 10 in there, concept, and I'll have words. So yeah, thank you all for listening to my vague threats to Japanese people. You can, I don't have my notepad open, but you can follow us at the various links in the show notes. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy our content. We do a bunch of different stuff, video game reviews, discussions on pretty much anything pop culture related. And we will see you in the next episode.